The Bakou, the blue ones of ancient earth, Kaihannah. There are many mysteries surrounding the origins of mankind. Across countless generations, humanity searched for answers through religion, science, mythology, and spirituality. Ancient bones are uncovered beneath the earth, hidden structures emerge from beneath oceans and jungles, and stories passed down through tribes and cultures continue to whisper fragments of forgotten truths. Yet perhaps some knowledge has never truly been lost. Perhaps it has been simply remained asleep within the spirit of humanity, within humanity's DNA, waiting for the right time to awaken once more. Among the many stories shared through trance, meditation, and spiritual teachings, one race stands apart from all others, a deeply spiritual people known as the Bakou. The Bakou, often called the Blue Ones, were believed to be an ancient race that existed millions of years ago upon the Earth plane and lived in North America and also the North Pole. According to spiritual teachings, the Bakou were not simply primitive beings struggling for survival, they were highly evolved spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. They possessed a profound understanding of healing, vibration, meditation, telepathy, and the interconnectedness of all life. Their wisdom was not built upon greed, power, or conquest. Instead, the Bakou lived through harmony, balance, compassion, and spiritual awareness. They viewed themselves not as owners of the earth, but guardians and caretakers of it. And many believe the memory of the Bakou still lived deep within the collective consciousness of humanity, particularly with the Aboriginal peoples and also the Native Americans. The appearance of the Bakou were described as tall, elegant beings, often reaching heights of 7 to 8 feet. Their physical bodies were powerful and athletic, adapted perfectly to the environments in which they lived. Their skin was smooth, silky, and blue-grey in colour, often described as appearing almost wet or reflective beneath sunlight. Their bodies were highly evolved for both land and water. They were exceptional swimmers and climbers and spent much of their lives close to oceans, rivers, cliffs, and forests. Many of the tribes built homes alongside cliff faces, deep caverns, and giant ancient trees. One of the most unusual features of the Bakou was their hands. Each hand possessed 6 fingers, and the hands themselves held tremendous spiritual importance within the Bakou culture. The Bakou believed that energy flowed through all things and that the hands were sacred tools for feeling, sensing, healing, and communicating emotion. Unlike modern humanity, which often communicates through words alone, the Bakou understood emotional vibration and frequency. They believed emotions could be transferred through touch, hand gestures, energy, and of course intention. The spiritual nature of the Bakou. The nature of the Bakou were deeply spiritual beings. However, they did not follow organized religion, nor did they worship God in the way many modern civilizations do. Instead, they sought enlightenment through direct spiritual experience of nature. Meditation formed the center of all Bakou life and society. Every tribe practiced long periods of silence, reflection, prayer, and energetic healing. Meditation was not viewed as an occasional practice, but as a way of living. Through meditation, the Bakou believed that they could maintain harmony within themselves, their tribe, the earth, and the spirit world. They believed that everything possessed consciousness and spirit. Trees, rocks, the mountain, the sky, animals, oceans, even the earth itself. Nothing was considered separate. The Bakou taught that life existed as a vast interconnected web of vibration. What some spiritual teachers later referred to as the spider webs theory, every action, thought, and emotion affected the whole. Harm caused imbalance, while compassion restored harmony. Because of this belief system, the Bakou lived with profound respect for nature. They never unnecessarily harmed animals or destroyed forests. Trees in particular were considered sacred guardians of the earth, the Bakou and the trees. Perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects of Bakou culture was their relationship with trees. Not only their connection with trees, but also plant life as well. The Bakou believed trees were living memory keepers of the earth. They understood that trees emitted vibration that could be sensed and communicated through meditation and spiritual attunement. Certain elders within the tribe possessed the ability to transfer emotions, memories, and experiences into specific ancient trees. These memories could later be revisited by others through meditation and energetic connection. To the Bakou, forests were not collections of separate plants. Forests were living intelligent systems connected through energy and vibration. The oldest trees were viewed as wise elders. Some tribes, known as the tree whisperers, even built their homes within giant hollow trees that were thousands of years old. Entire family lineages could live within the same sacred tree structures for generations. The Bakou never cut down trees unless absolutely necessary. To harm a tree unnecessarily was viewed as harming the balance of life itself. Communication through song and thought. The Bakou had no written language. Their knowledge was passed down through oral tradition, sound, vibration, song, and telepathic connection. Songs were sacred within the Bakou culture and often carried spiritual teachings, historical knowledge, prayer, and healing vibrations. Communication also occurred through intricate hand gestures and emotional expressions. Their sign language was deeply symbolic and spiritual, capable of expressing emotions, blessing, sorrow, love, and respect. However, the most extraordinary aspect of Bakou communication was telepathy. The Bakou possessed what they refer to as the seventh sense, the ability to communicate mind to mind, not only with each other but also with animals, trees, and spiritual beings. The sixth sense was connected to spiritual communication and intuition. The Bakou believed these higher senses were connected to the pineal and pituitary glands within the brain, which was said to be more developed than those of modern humans. Because of this heightened awareness, the Bakou rarely lied, manipulated, or deceived each other. They could sense emotional vibration and intentions naturally. Communication came from feeling rather than performance. And the healing wisdom of the Bakou. The Bakou were widely respected throughout the universe for their healing knowledge. According to spiritual teachings, many beings from other worlds would seek the Bakou for guidance in healing techniques and energetic understanding. Healing within the Bakou culture involved many layers. 1. Meditation. Breathwork, energy transfer, touch, crystals, magnet, herbs, roots, sound vibration, colour frequencies, and spiritual connections. Bakou understood that illness often began first within the emotional and energetic imbalance before manifesting physically. The healers worked deeply within the energetic body and healing the body using sound, colour, and light frequency. Hands were central to healing practices. Bakou healers believed that hands could transfer emotional balance, energetic vibration, and spiritual healing directly into another being. Healing ceremonies often lasted many hours or even days and involved prayer, chanting, meditation, and silence. Many modern spiritual healing systems are believed by some to contain fragments of ancient Bakou knowledge. Mahannah and Kaihannah. Among the most well-known Bakou spirits spoken of which within the spiritual circles is Mahannah. Mahannah was believed to be one of the last great spiritual leaders of the Bakou race before their eventual decline. Wise, compassionate, and deeply connected to the spiritual world, Mahannah dedicated their existence to preserving harmony and spiritual understanding. Mahannah's soul partner was known as Kaihannah. The Bakou viewed soul partnership differently from modern humanity. Relationships were not based solely upon physical attraction or social expectation. Soul partnerships were energetic unions formed through deep spiritual resonance. Many Bakou believed they would reincarnate together across lifetimes to continue learning, healing, and evolving spiritually. Touch between soul partners held tremendous importance. Through placing hands together, Bakou partners could transfer emotions, memories, and understanding without speaking. The decline of the Bakou. Despite their wisdom and spiritual advancement, the Bakou eventually began to disappear from the earth. Spiritual teachings suggest that their decline occurred gradually over millions of years. Population numbers decreased significantly and many tribes eventually stopped producing in large numbers. Some teachings suggest that Bakou became increasingly focused upon spirituality and less attached to physical survival and expansion. Others suggest environmental changes and shifts in Earth's magnetic and climate systems affected the race profoundly. The final known Bakou is said to have lived approximately 3.8 million years ago, yet according to many spiritual teachings, the spirit of Bakou did not entirely leave. Many remain close to the earth plane within the spirit world. Some teachers suggest that many Bakou spirits now reincarnate in this time within humanity to help guide spiritual awakening during times of planetary imbalance and transformation. One of the most controversial aspects of Bakou teachings is the belief that modern humans are partially descended from the Bakou and later races connected through genetic evolution and spiritual intervention. According to these teachings, several advanced races worked alongside evolving Earth species millions of years ago. Through long periods of adaptation, experimentation, and evolution, later human civilizations emerged. The Bakou themselves were believed to have contributed spiritually and genetically to the development of future races. Whether viewed symbolically or literally, these teachings pointed towards a deeper idea that humanity may possess far greater spiritual potential than it currently realizes. The Bakou believed humanity would one day rediscover and remember telepathy, energetic healing, deeper intuition, unity with nature, and the reconnection with the spirit within, but only through compassion, balance, and spiritual maturity. The Bakou believed modern humanity had forgotten two important senses. The sixth sense was intuition and spirit connection. The seventh sense was telepathy and energetic communication with other life forms. And the Bakou believed that these senses were natural abilities that had weakened over time due to fear, disconnection from nature, materialism, and emotional imbalance. Meditation was viewed as the key to reawakening these abilities. Silence was sacred and stillness was sacred. The Bakou taught that when the mind becomes quiet enough, the spirit begins to remember in that presence. Now, the Bakou and the oceans. Water held tremendous spiritual significance to the Bakou. Many tribes lived close to oceans, cliffs, and sea caverns. Water symbolized cleansing, memory, healing, and spiritual connection. The Bakou possessed a deep bond with dolphins and whales and were believed capable of communicating with sea creatures through vibration and telepathic intention. According to some teachings, injured Bakou would call upon dolphins for assistance while at sea. The ocean themselves were viewed as living spiritual entities, ancient consciousness connected to the memory of the earth, a society without greed. One of the most striking aspects of Bakou civilization was the apparent absence of greed, domination, and rigid hierarchy. Each family or house within the tribe had a responsibility that would continue for generations. Knowledge was passed down carefully and respectfully through sound and song. Education was lifelong and based upon experience rather than a doctrine and school. Children learned through nature, meditation, travel, healing practices, and the wisdom of elders. And the Bakou believed spirituality should not be controlled through fear or law books. Instead, compassion or ethical behavior should arise naturally from spiritual awareness itself. Punishment was always rare. When imbalance occurred, the response was more often about love, understanding, and healing rather than rejection. The return of the Bakou. Many spiritual teachings suggest that Bakou energies are once again drawing close to humanity. As humanity experiences ecological destruction, emotional imbalance, war, technological overload, and spiritual disconnection, some believe the memory of ancient wisdom tradition is beginning to awaken once more. The teachings of the Bakou remind humanity to slow down, to listen, to reconnect with nature, to meditate, to respect the earth, and to remember that all life is interconnected. Whether one views the Bakou as literal ancient beings, symbolic archetypes, spiritual metaphors, or channeled mythology, their message remains powerful. Humanity cannot survive through endless division, greed, and destruction, because balance must return, compassion must return, and healing must return. Perhaps this is why stories of the Bakou continue to resonate so deeply with certain people today. Not because they are searching for escape from humanity, but because they are searching for remembrance. A remembrance that somewhere deep within the spirit of mankind still exists that possibility of becoming peaceful, intuitive, compassionate beings once more. Bakou taught that true spirituality was never about power, it was about harmony. Harmony within self, harmony within each other, and harmony with the earth, and harmony with the infinite universe of spirit surrounding all life.